Start. Greetings, children. Today we will be starting with chapter number 7, that is fractions. Now, fractions, we have been doing it since form 4 and 5. Again, I would like to recap a few things. First, what is fraction or define fraction? Fraction is nothing but a part of a whole. If I say there is a whole cake, this is suppose a cake, and I divide the cake into parts, cut the cake into parts. How many parts I have made? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 parts I have made. Suppose out of these 10 parts, I eat 4 parts. I eat 4 parts. So what is the fraction of the cake eaten? 4 upon 10. There are total 10 parts. Out of 10 parts, I have eaten 4 parts. So the fraction I have eaten is 4 upon 10. And obviously the remaining fraction will be 6 upon 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parts are remaining and there are total 10 parts. Now, this was one example of fraction where the thing is whole. I have cut the cake into 10 parts, but cake in itself is one whole. But another example, there are suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pastries I have. This is a group of things. This was one thing. This is a group of things. There are 10 pastries. I eat 4 pastries. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the fraction I have eaten? 4 upon 10. Obviously, the remaining fraction will be 6 upon 10. So fraction means it is a part of a whole. A whole may be a single object, just like a cake, or a group of objects, just like a group of pastries. So, when we write the definition of fraction, we will start on a new page. New chapter always starts from a new page with black pen. Give the heading chapter number 7, fractions. Now, first we will write the definition of fractions. Fraction is a part of the whole. It can come as fill in the blanks. Fraction is dash of the whole, or part of the whole is called dash. In any way it could be asked. So it is compulsory to remember the definition. Fraction is a part of the whole. Next line, leave one line and write the whole may be a single object or a group of objects. Am I clear, children? Now, for example, if I write the fraction 1 upon 2 3 upon 4, 7 upon 12, and so on. These are the fractions. That means there are total 2 parts. I have used 1 part. There were 4 parts. I have used 3 parts. Total 12 parts were there. I have used 7 parts. Now, how to say that? How to pronounce the fraction? Yes, half, 1 upon 2 can be written as half. 3 upon 4 can be written as 3/4 or 3 upon 4. 7 upon 12 could be written as 7/12 or 7 upon 12 in so many ways. Like, for example, there is a fraction 5 upon 9. How will I read it? 5 upon 9. One way is what I speak, 5 upon 9 or 5/9. Clear? This is the way how we speak the fractions. Now there are types of fractions. There are 3 types of fractions. Types of fractions. First is proper fraction. In a proper fraction, the numerator is always small and the denominator is always big. See, what is numerator and what is denominator? The number above this line is numerator and the number below this line is denominator. The down number is denominator and the up number is numerator. So in a proper fraction, we will write the definition. In a proper fraction, numerator is always less than the denominator. And one more thing, leave one line and write proper fraction is always less than 1. Less than 1. It is very important. In a proper fraction, the numerator is always less than the denominator. I can give you the example, 3 upon 4. See, the numerator is 3 and the denominator is 4. 3 is small, 4 is big. One more example, 7 upon 9. 7 is small, 9 is big. One more example, suppose 11 upon 20. 11 is small and 20 is big. And always proper fractions are less than 1. For example, this is a cake. Okay, and I divide the cake into 4 parts. Clear? And I eat 3 parts. So I have eaten less than 1. I have not finished the whole thing. Same way, 7 upon 9. Suppose there is a cake and I make 9 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I make 9 parts and I eat 3 parts. Or sorry, 7 parts. I eat 7 parts, but I have not finished the whole cake. So it is less than 1. Always proper fraction is less than 1. The other type of fraction is improper fraction. Improper fraction. Opposite of proper fraction. In improper fraction, the numerator is always bigger than the denominator. in improper fraction the numerator is always bigger than the denominator. And leave a line and write improper fraction is always greater than 1. Greater than 1. For example, suppose 4 upon 2, 9 upon 6, 5 upon 1. In all these cases, the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and so they are called improper fractions, and improper fractions are always greater than 1. So, by looking at the fraction, you can always judge whether the fraction is greater than 1 or whether the fraction is less than 1. If it is a proper fraction, it would be always less than 1. If it is an improper fraction, it will be always bigger than 1. The third type of fraction is mixed fraction. Write mixed fraction. See, as the name suggests, it is a mixture. It is a mixture of a whole and a proper fraction. It is a mixture of whole and a proper fraction. Whole means whole number. I mean here whole number. It is mixed fraction is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction. For example, I say 2.5. I ate 2.5 chapati. This is a mixed fraction. What does it mean? I ate 2 whole chapatis. This is whole. 2 whole chapatis, and from the third one I divided it into 2 parts and I ate 1 part. This is 2 whole 1 upon 2. Here 2 is a whole number. You can call it as an integer. 2 integer 1 upon 2. 2 whole 1 upon 2. You can call it anyway. It is a whole number. Another example I can give is 7 whole 3 upon 4. 7 whole means I ate 7 whole chapatis, and from the 8th chapati I divided it into 4 parts and I ate 3 parts. And could you see 3 upon 4 is a proper fraction. The numerator is small and the denominator is big. So here we have done types of fractions. We did proper fraction, improper fraction and mixed fraction. I hope the things are clear to you. Now coming to exercise 1.1. After writing these definitions on a page, we will go on a new page and write exercise 1.1. 1.1, sorry, 7.1, it's my mistake. Exercise 7.1, on a new page, you will write exercise 7.1, and question number 1, 2 and 3 have to be done in textbook only. Question number 1, 2 and 3 are to be done in textbook only. In classwork, we will start with question number 4. What fraction of a day is 8 hours? The rule remains the same. The question with black pen and the solution with blue pen. Question number 4. Directly we will start with question number 4. What fraction of a day is 8 hours? Now I want to write it into fraction. Now a day, we all know that how many hours are there in a day? There are 24 hours in a day. So we will write 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Therefore, fraction will be 8 hours. We want to write the fraction of 8 hours. So 8 upon 24. These are all 1 mark questions. The whole exercise is 1 mark question. What fraction of an hour is 40 minutes? We will copy question number 5. What fraction of an hour is 40 minutes? Now children, you know that in 1 hour, how many minutes are there? 60 minutes. So we will convert hour into minutes. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Therefore, fraction would be 40. I have to write the fraction of 40 upon 60. Coming to question number 6, which I won't be writing the question because it will take a lot of time. So I am not writing question, but it is for you to sure write the question. Arya, Abhimanyu and Vivek shared lunch. These 3 children go to the school and bring their tiffin box, and they share their lunch. Arya has brought 2 sandwiches, one made of vegetable and one of jam. Arya's mother gave her 2 sandwiches. One was vegetable sandwich and one was jam sandwich. The other 2 boys forgot to bring their lunch. They were in a hurry in the morning, so they did not bring their lunch. Arya agreed to share his sandwiches so that each person will have an equal share of sandwiches. Now, Arya got how many sandwiches? I'll write here. Arya got 2 sandwiches. This was vegetable sandwich and the other was jam sandwich. Clear? Now, she was very genuine and she shared her sandwich with her friends Abhimanyu and Vivek. Now, how will she share an equal part so that none of them is hungry and everybody gets an equal share? So definitely, she will divide the sandwich into 3 equal parts. I know this is not equal, but you can consider it as equal. She will divide each sandwich into 3 equal parts so that everybody can enjoy vegetable sandwich also and jam sandwich also. So what is the fraction or equal share each will get? So Arya, how can Arya divide his sandwiches so that each person, Arya divides each sandwich into 3 equal parts. Arya divides each sandwich into 3 equal parts. B. What part of a sandwich will each boy receive? What is the part of the sandwich? Each boy will receive how much sandwich they will receive? See, 1/3 from here and 1/3 from here. Isn't it? There will be total how many parts are there? 6 parts. Each boy will get 2/6 parts of the 6 part of sandwich. Now, question number 7 I will do, and 8, 9 and the remaining questions would be for homework. Kanchan dyes dresses. Here dyes means what? Coloring. When you go to Junagadh, on the way, there is a place called Jaipur where you could see so many cloths being dried on the sides of the road. Actually, their main business is to dye, to color the cloth. They color the cloth and then they keep the cloth outside in the sun to dry. So Kanchan's business is dyeing dresses. Dyeing dresses means coloring dresses. She had to dye 30 dresses. She got the order of dyeing 30 dresses. Okay. She has so far finished 20 dresses. What fraction of dresses has she finished? She finished 20 dresses. Dyeing is done. So what is the fraction? Total how many dresses were there? 30. She finished how many? 20. So what is the fraction? 20/30. Total dresses is 30. Dresses finished dyeing is 20. Therefore, fraction will be 20/30. These are all simple 1-mark questions. The remaining questions you have to do it in your classwork, but that is for assignment. Now coming to the other topic. How to represent fractions on the number line. Now whenever you are drawing the number line, please be very sure that you are drawing it with pencil and scale. If you use pen, I will put 0 in your answer copy. Drawing is to be done with only pencil and scale. I do not want any pen for the drawing of fractions or any drawing in mathematics. Now, how to represent fractions on the number line? For example, I have few fractions. Suppose 1/2, 3/2, 5/2, 4/2, 7/2. But in this case, we have to be very sure that all the denominators are same. If the denominators are not same, we have to make them same. Am I clear? Now, first of all, we have to be sure that whether my fractions are proper or improper. 1/2 is a proper fraction because the numerator is small and the denominator is big. 3/2 is an improper fraction. The denominator is small and the numerator is big. So it is greater than 1. 5/2 is improper fraction. It is also greater than 1. So the fractions which are improper, they will go beyond 1, and the fractions which are proper, they will be between 0 and 1. So if I draw the number line, the drawing of the number line is to be only with pencil and scale. This is the number line I would draw. I'll put the starting will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I want, I can go beyond. Now, make sure that the denominators are same. The denominators should not be different. In my case, the denominators are same. And whatever the denominator is, that many parts I will make between the two whole numbers. Now you are clear with the topic whole numbers? So you know 0 is a whole number, 1 is a whole number, 2 is a whole number, 3 is a whole number, 4 and 5. Whatever the denominator is, that many parts are to be made between two whole numbers. The denominator is 2. So between two whole numbers, between 0 and 1, I will make two parts. One part and two parts. Between 1 and 2, again I will make two parts. Between 2 and 3, again I will make two parts. Between 3 and 4, again I will make two parts. Between 4 and 5, again I will make two parts. I hope the thing is clear to you. Now I will start from 0. 0 upon 2. This point will be 1 upon 2. This will be 2 upon 2. 3 upon 2. 4 upon 2. 5 upon 2. 6 upon 2. 7 upon 2. 8 upon 2. 9 upon 2. 10 upon 2. Every whole number is also a fraction. See, I will start from 0 and the denominator would be same for all the fractions. Now you can represent. I want to show 1 upon 2. Here is 1 upon 2. I want to show 3 upon 2. This is 3 upon 2. 5 upon 2. This is 5 upon 2. 4 upon 2. This is 4 upon 2. 7 upon 2. This is 7 upon 2. The whole number line has to be drawn with pencil and scale. You cannot use pen on number line. Even these arrow asterisk marks are to be drawn with pencil and scale. Coming after you finish exercise 1.1, question number 8, 9, 10 and 11, you would write exercise 7.2 on a new page and copy the question. Exercise 7.2 on a new page. New exercise will always start from new page. Exercise 7.2, you will write copy question number 1. Draw number line and locate points on them. Draw number line and locate points on them. We will do two questions. A, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 4, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 4, 3 upon 4 and 4 upon 4. 3 upon 4 and 4 upon 4. Here children, I told you that to draw the number line and to locate points on the number line or the fractions on the number line, each fraction should have the same denominator. But in my case, I have 3 fractions with the same denominator, but one fraction is not with the same denominator. I have to make it same. What will I do? Now I have 1 upon 2 children. 1 upon 2. I want to make denominator 4. What should I do to 1 upon 2 to make the denominator 1 upon 4? I should multiply 2. If I multiply the denominator with 2, I have to multiply the numerator also with 2. See, I cannot be biased. एक के साथ करो and we do not multiply with the other thing. So whatever you multiply with the denominator, you have to multiply the same thing with the numerator. So the fraction is 2 upon 4. Now you see, instead of 1 upon 2, you got 2 upon 4. 1 upon 4, 3 upon 4 and 4 upon 4. Now next point. I made all the denominators same. One point is clear. Second point. First I have to find out whether my fractions are proper fractions or improper fractions. Because if it is an improper fraction, I have to draw a big number line because they will go beyond 1. But if they are proper fractions, I can fit all the fractions between 0 and 1. Now to my surprise, I see 2 upon 4. 2 is numerator, 4 is denominator. Numerator is small, it is proper fraction. 1 upon 4, proper fraction. 3 upon 4, proper fraction. 4 upon 4, proper fraction. So all the fractions are proper. The things are easy for me, that all the fractions will come between 0 and 1. If any fraction is improper, it will go beyond 1 because improper fractions are always greater than 1. So with pencil and scale, I will draw a number line and I will put only 2 numbers on the number line because I have all the fractions as proper fractions. Now, I told you whatever the denominator is, that many parts I have to make, and the parts have to be equal. They cannot be unequal. The parts which you are making on the number line have to be equal. So, I will make 1, 2, 3. You don't measure it, but by looking at it, by observing at it, the parts must appear to be equal. No need to measure it with scale. You can, by appearance, they should look that the parts are same. I have made 4 parts. 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts and 4 parts. Now I will number. I will start numbering the fraction from 0. 0 upon 4 because all the denominators are 4. 1 upon 4, 2 upon 4, 3 upon 4 and 4 upon 4. Now plot this thing. 1 upon 2 is 2 upon 4. So here it is. 1 upon 4 is here. 3 upon 4 is here. And 4 upon 4 is here. I'll do B with you. 1 upon 8, 2 upon 8, 3 upon 8 and 7 upon 8. 1 upon 8, 2 upon 8, 3 upon 8 and 7 upon 8. First, when I get to plot the fractions on the number line, the first thing is I have to make sure that all the denominators are same. In this case, all the denominators are same. So, the things are easy for me. The second thing is, I want to make sure that all the fractions are proper. If any fraction is improper, I need to draw a big number line so that they can go beyond 1. See, 1 upon 8 is proper fraction. 2 upon 8 is proper fraction. 3 upon 8 is proper fraction. 7 upon 8 is proper fraction. They are all proper fractions. So, they will always be between 0 and 1. So my things are easy, that on the number line I have to plot only 2 whole numbers, 0 and 1. But yes, if any fraction is improper, then you have to draw a big number line and the numbers might go beyond 1. When I draw the number line, it is 0 and 1. Now, how many parts I have to make? 8 parts, clear. But the parts which I am making have to be very equal. By appearance, they should you should come to know that the parts are equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, this part is bigger, so I will erase it a bit. It has to be equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts I have made. Now I will start numbering. 0 upon 8, 1 upon 8, 2 upon 8, 3 upon 8, 4 upon 8, 5 upon 8, 6 upon 8, 7 upon 8, and 1 will be 8 upon 8. Now easy to plot. 1 upon 8 is here, so I will plot 1 upon 8. 2 upon 8 is here, plot 2 upon 8. 3 upon 8 is here. 7 upon 8 is here. Now today's prep is, first you need to finish question number 8, 9, 10 and 11 of exercise 7.1 in your classwork, and then once you finish those questions, then only you will start writing exercise 7.2. First finish exercise 7.1 in your classwork, then write exercise 7.2. The 2 questions of question number 1 are done. The third is for you to try. You need to try the C question on your own. Question number 1C on your own. Thank you, children.